But look at that cool remote control crane.
That would be a departure for me.
I think we grew up in a more stable home. No.
You picked the hero. That was the hero.
Okay, we are back with more celebrity home tours. Alex, of course, knows none.
They just spent the last 3 minutes trying to tell me who Kirsten Dunst is.
Everybody knows who that is. Alex knows who that is.
I've seen one of her movies.
Anyway, Johanna is here with us. She's our new marketing manager.
Hello.
She knows who people are, so we thought, it'd be nice to have her perspective, somebody who's in touch with anything going on in the world. Johanna selected that we should do this tour because she said, Kirsten Dunst says, I need a door and give me a room, which is very much my perspective.
Yeah, I saw it and I thought, Peter, this is you. You don't like an open concept as much as everybody else seems to. So I was like,
when someone says they want to open something up, I'm like, we should find someone else to do your project.
Burn it down. She looks a lot like the other blonde actress.
what?
Belle. What's her name?
Belle. Oh,
Watson?
Kristen Bell.
It's just the name similarity.
Oh, that's a nice
I like
pool.
old things. I like things that make me feel things.
I like old things too.
To me, it's a very emotional thing, and Jane has always understood that part of me very well.
I don't know what color her cabinets are, but I just painted my dining room almost the same color.
Relish beautiful things. So
It looks a lot more like a home than most of the others I've seen.
It doesn't matter about whether it's the most minute detail. We can both get a little teary-eyed and emotional.
Do you get teary-eyed over things?
Yeah, so we don't.
Over furnishings?
No, I don't.
That would be a departure for me.
Was that always a light?
It was always a light fixture.
Okay.
Are they also watching her home tour? Are we reviewing Kirsten Dunst's review of her own home tour?
Fixed and perfect and...
If she was glossy and new, it would just look pastiche. And the fact that she shows her age, again, is just...
Johanna hates glossy. Do you feel that, are you in agreement?
Yes.
All I could think of was
Actually, yes.
Doesn't she wear that on her head in that movie?
Well, yeah, that's what they said.
The mirror was bought by my mom in a French flea market, and she has one in her house, and now
I like the mirror. I think a little bit of gilding always makes a room kind of pretty and ethereal.
in front of the mirror and say that the people were like waltzing in the mirror with me. So there's probably some
A little crazy.
energy from. It's very magical.
A little crazy
I
energy.
think we grew up in a more stable home. No.
Great.
Ooh,
That's too much for me.
I don't like the wallpaper, but I do like the crane in the middle.
Lake August.
That wallpaper is
Love it so
really
much. And I just
a
love
lot.
that old school, like just
I
coming
like-
into-
But look at that cool remote control crane.
Just like, let's do one wall.
Oh yeah, let's back up and look at the toys. Okay, I think she just said something about like, let's do one wall was somebody's idea, and I strongly agree that if you're gonna do wallpaper, you need to do the whole room.
But
An
I
accent
think-
wall
walls
is
are-
not successful.
I think that wallpaper, maybe not. But wallpaper in general, yes. But here's what I don't like about this wallpaper is that the print seems kind of small, so you see it repetitive.
It does have
Too
a
many-
lot of repetition. It
Yeah,
would be
like-
nice if there were another woodland creature in there.
Yeah, but it's
And
okay.
maybe these blinds could be a different color.
I
or
don't
the
have to
rug,
like
too.
everything.
I like the rug.
I do like that she has her toys in there. That's like real, you know.
I actually think those
You
toys
think those
look
are hers?
pretty fun.
Yeah.
These are Kirsten's toys.
She loves cranes.
I love good cranes.
This is almost as if Garbo moved in with Ronald Reagan, and it has to be one part Texas, one part...
glamour. This house is very like a European ranch house to me.
I kind of think as a designer, this is like a good, like she just said, this is like if Garbo and Reagan moved in together. And I think like creating a narrative with your client about that kind of story really helps you define what your place is going to end up looking like. I like that so much more than a client coming to me with like a mood board of stuff, because it tends to be like random ideas. I think it's helpful to make a story together and then create your project.
But I did have a pizza guy come to the door and be like, "It smells like Texas out here."
Oh, I love that.
We wanted to feel.
Wait, is it in Texas or not in Texas?
And this played into.
She has a scent that's Texas that she sprays around.
Although
Such a gorgeous-
I can tell him always that his foxes when he's like, "I'm scared." Well, he's not really scared. He just wants to sleep in my bed. But
Yeah.
But that his foxes.
Oh, that's cool. I do like it close up,
There's
actually.
secret mice in there too.
Mickey
Oh,
Mouse.
there is another
Secret Mickeys.
woodland creature.
Print is too
It
small.
took me about a year before I noticed. I was like, "Oh my god, there's also little mice in here."
It's like
yeah.
Waldo the Mouse.
I just want more of it, that's all.
Almost completed the house, and Jesse was like, "I have some
More
furniture.
creatures.
It's over here.
Oh,
Can you go
that's-
and pick it up
Who's
and
that?
bring it over and see
Her
if
Her
it works?"
husband.
And I was a little horrified.
seen him in
because it was last
stuff.
minute. Not that any of his furniture was bad, but then I unpacked that and I went,
I like that.
"Oh my
Elephant.
goodness," because again.
Jane brought over this tile in a bunch of different colors. There was a green.
There was.
I like
this
that
ready
color.
brick,
Olive.
I wish I had a Jane in my life.
I just liked this because
Jane Goodall is in all of our lives.
like of old brick, even though it's not. And
Kevin has a
cracked
colleague
little.
who
Yeah, so it reflects light
asked
really
if Jane
interesting
Austen was the
inside.
one who worked
That
with
was
monkeys.
the beginning of making a darker kitchen, which I love because
Well, you picked the hero. That was the hero tile, and I was like, yes.
I love it.
These two, I love their rapport, you know?
I like these giant beams over ovens.
They're like your oven feels like a whole separate little room.
It's very like British country house.
I remember this kitchen being published, I don't know, a couple of years ago, like everywhere. It was very groundbreaking to have a kitchen with this much color, especially these eggplant colored cabinets when everybody was still kind of being forced to stop doing white and gray. And now it's sort of, people are really comfortable with this idea. But the amount of material mixture in here is really a lot. But I think it's cool together.
Yeah, looks nice. Looks like you'd actually use it too, unlike some of the giant kitchens where you really only need a corner of it and nobody's going to use the third island.
Yeah, look at the size of that island though. It is actually quite big. The problem with the huge islands that people make is they're like 20 feet long, but you don't engage with people over a span of 20 feet unless you're in a commercial bar. You engage with people in a circle or a square. So this island makes sense socially in the context. That's why, even though it's huge, I think it's fine, because people want to look at each other, they want to stand across from one another. This invites you to do that, and I think it's very cool how they've put this sort of freestanding piece of furniture up against it to make it possible to sit at, but otherwise it's really a utilitarian island rather than an eat-at island.
I also just like that the color palette feels very like moody and intimate.
Yeah.
And in a really sunny place like LA, it's kind of nice to have that like oasis of just like a darker space.
Get out of the sun for a second. Last thing, I think it's cool how contemporary the island feels in comparison to the rest of the room. Like the other materials are really tactile. This has a lot of movement, but it's very machined, and I think it still works in a really interesting way with the other materials.
Reminds Jesse of the bandana on Gus in his favorite movie, Lonesome Dove.
That reminds me of the tile that was in our cabin on the floor. It's really pretty.
Oh yeah, that lamp
Oh,
in the
wow.
corner is made out of popsicle sticks. You'd call it tramp art, right?
Yeah,
Is that still the
Tramp art, I like it.
You need some tramp art in your home.
Bring it back. Bring back the tramps.
Tramps art.
We don't sell any of those at Daniel House
No.
Club, but we should.
Could make one.
Johanna, do you want to start making popsicle stick lamps?
And bird cages and
Really funny about that.
For Spider-Man, it was the first time I like made like money, and you're like, whoa, what do you do with this?
is this ringing a bell for you as to who she is?
That's the one I've seen.
When you were 10?
Yeah, didn't love it.
Ooh, a soaking tub.
Sitting in the cedar soaking tub, looking up at the
Now
pine
that
tree.
piqued my interest.
I need a ladder like that just to get into my bathtub.
It does, and it's in a little nook. Pool is a little bit more adult, so you can let the door
I
open.
really
and
like
the
how the
students
wood
out
on the
there.
pool
When
deck
I
is
grew
laid
up
like car
in the
decking.
valley, my kids, because LA's a city, and
It's in LA, but it smells like
I
Texas.
think she does live in Texas too, though.
The gate closes.
As you know, you're the biggest source of information on this topic.
That's, I think, where a lot of these Texas references are coming from.
That's good.
Ooh, I love the chair.
That is very cool. Robert would own one of those.
I
Yeah,
really
he
like
loves folk art,
when
as do I.
stuff, you know, the art is also usable.
Well, I like the whole
Everything.
view of here. I like when you can see through the big doorway and it's like a picture frame on that bench. Also, is that a stuffed cat?
The amount of
Cute.
eras displayed here is so huge ranging. I don't know if the cabinet looks sort of like Flemish to me, maybe. It's definitely a couple hundred years old. The huge model ship above, I think she said her grandfather,
The Olympian?
the Olympian, put together. So it's got a lot of personal importance and makes a lot of sense with that cabinet. And then we have a totally different era 1960s piece of usable art that, I don't know, I think they meld beautifully. And then that sort of just hunk of wood bench in the entry hall beyond.
What room
kind of
do you think
works
this
bet-
is?
Like the corner, the entrance of the living room, maybe?
Yeah, either living room or dining room. That's the one thing. Like I wish this video had walked us through rather than narrating from the kitchen, because I don't understand how the spaces connect. But yeah, I think it's the living room and you're looking into the entry hall.
I love this sculpture though.
Yeah,
The little
it's
lady.
amazing.
She's so cute and just so cool. I would
I really
add to
like
cart.
add to cart. I really like the sort of parquet brick floor in the entry hall.
That's pretty. It's just like these are two people that have this really tight design relationship and they have kind of quirky, weird tastes, but they like really know how to hone it in to make some cool spaces here.
Yeah, also cool oscillation from room to room between white walls and color. I think sometimes people feel like they have to do one or the other. And here, because all the individual furnishings have a lot of color, you have rooms where that's really working on a white background, and then other rooms where the background is very, very dense, and you're still able to bring in those exciting pieces. So,
I would be like really excited to visit this house.
yeah.
And I feel like it'd feel really comfortable and inviting, but you'd be so excited to like look at all these individual.
leave. This is mine now.
I feel like Kirsten has probably spent a ton of money on stuff, but it's like she knows about it. She loves it. It's like a part of her life in a way that I think some people just buy expensive stuff for the sake of it, and I think that's really cool.
I bet there's stuff that she spent no money on too. I think that always
Hopefully
makes a
that
place
giant
feel
eagle sitting next to
more
the
homey.
bathroom sink.
Their giant homes are really popular.
You maybe catch it,
Line of
but
tablecloths they do. And
it looks like something somebody should spend no money on.
it turns them into curtains.
Hi,
I love it.
Yeah, right there. Oh, it's a vulture.
A vulture. The tub is interesting.
It looks cool, but also looks like something you wouldn't want to sit in.
And my sisters who are stylists, and as you know, they're like, there's this one.
I like the look of the shower curtain, but I hate showering in a shower with a shower curtain. You get stuck to your legs.
What?
That's a condor. Okay.
What?
This doesn't happen to you?
Yeah.
Oh, a condor.
The most effing, like,
That's
porcelain
cool.
California condor, but like in pale colors.
I love a bird.
Like a.
It feels
It makes me
Scary.
Want to say,
No?
Don't like it.
It made me feel that way.
like Snow Whitish.
She's got birds everywhere.
I don't mind birds. I just don't like that bird.
Birds and boats. Oh, love.
This light fixture we got.
Yeah,
at the
that
back
looks
from
great
Cruise
in
Night,
that room.
and you're like, it's giant.
It was the first thing we bought for this house. Because
I
it
think
was a
this
giant
scale
slumber.
would
And
scare a
we
lot of
looked at it,
clients.
and
They
I
would
was
feel
like,
that that was going to be
like,
way
let
too
me
big
put
for
the
that
house.
room.
And I was like, we
And you're like, no.
I like that she's not very trendy. She just likes what she likes and she goes into it. Leans into it, I should say.
The story was right.
A very emotional house.
It is.
Everyone's just feeling the feelings here, you know?
I think it has so much
Shedding a tear over these furniture pieces and just feeling emotional.
Are we done? We've made it to the end.
it.
yes,
I do like her.
I like your house.
I think it's a 10 out of 10.
beauty and
10 out of 10. I don't
Yeah, and
know.
I think
It's very nice. We don't know what it looks like outside except for the pool.
I think there's so much to like here.
It's beautiful.
I've never given it 10.
I think let's give it an 8.5.
Can we just give it a solid 9?
No, we can't. We
don't like
we
being that
could
generous
give
with any
it.
ratings.
We need a floor plan. I could see a floor plan, then maybe we could, but I don't know
give
how
it-
the floor plan works.
I give it a 9.
But it's beautiful.
Rating.
we don't have to. We don't even rate really.
We're gonna come up with a rating system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next
rating
time we
system
shoot,
would
we're
be
gonna have
good.
a system.